Well, I would call myself a urban archaeologist and a public archaeologist. So with those two, I do the archaeology of cities, specifically Boston, and I try to make sure that everything we ever do with archaeology here in Boston is as accessible to as many people as possible while we do it. Always wanted to do a job that allowed me to get outside. I wanted to do something in the sciences, and I wanted to do something that allowed me to discover something new. Archaeology seemed like something interesting, and I was able to do a dig my senior year of high school up in Maine, where I grew up, and I loved it. And then got into Boston University for archaeology and haven't really left since. There's really a lot of history that never got recorded or didn't get recorded well or got misrecorded by folks that recorded the history. So to me, archaeology allows us to talk about people and ideas and stories of the past that are poorly represented on the written documents, and sometimes tell us stuff that we thought we knew, but in a new way. So for me, what archaeology really brings to the table is different voices and different people and a much more broader view of the past than we can get just from documents alone. And it's important that we know as many of those stories as possible because those people in the past really represent us today for the most part. And this is the story of us as much as it is the story about them. So we're celebrating everybody's lives by looking at as many different people as possible in the past. One of the most exciting things we ever got to document was a shipwreck downtown Boston, or just south of downtown Boston, called the Seaport Shipwreck. It was a lime schooner, but it was about 65 feet long, and it was found during a construction project. So I was one of the crew of archaeologists from the Public Archaeology Lab and the State Underwater Archaeology Board Bureau, who were called out to the site to dig as much as we could in the 3 days we had. I really like the surprise sites, so that was one of the biggest surprises. Another one we got to do was in the crypt at Old North, because it was supposed to be empty, and we found over 25 people in the crypt, still in their coffins, or at least most of them were still in their coffins. So I like projects where I find something that we didn't expect to see. Inherently destructive process. We dig sites and destroy them as we dig them. And so I think it's really important that people understand that archaeologists have an incredible responsibility to the stories that we are excavating and the people whose stuff we are digging up, because you can never dig a site twice. It's why we're so passionate about looting sites and trying to stop people from looting sites, because once they're gone, they're gone. But also because we destroy them, we have to get it right the very first time. And so it's incredibly important that we do things as scientifically as possible, as carefully as possible, and that we record as much as what we do as possible so that folks that do look at our projects down the road in future decades, centuries even, will be able to understand better what we've found, because no one will ever be able to dig the site after us.